Forget about it, Eddie. I'll just do it myself. It's such a problem.
I'm just saying the sun's really different down here.
The sun is the sun.
Stupid Mexican ozone.
No, the Mexican ozone isn't stupid, Lila. You just needed to wear some sunscreen.
I was trying to get a tan.
No, you were trying to get savage.
Whose side are you on, Eddie?
What? What sides are there?
Mine or the ozones? Choose one.
Well, okay. The movie The Heartbreak Kid is showing an extreme case of not using sunscreen, but most of us only think about our skin and using protection if we're going to the beach or the pool. So let's talk about UV rays, the impact on our skin, and when you should wear that sunscreen. Dermatologist Dr. Mary Hurley from Texas Health Dallas is here with us as we wrap up the final week of UV Safety Awareness Month. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Morgan.
Let's get right into it. You know, we know exposure to UV rays can cause damage, but can you talk about what type of damage, and is this the case for all skin?
Yes, the sun affects all skin types, sometimes in different ways. There are two primary wavelengths that we talk about with sun damage. So UVA rays, again, damage the skin in different ways. There's UVA and UVB. So if you think of UVA, A stands for aging. It's a longer wavelength, so it penetrates deeper into the skin. So that causes photoaging, which means degradation of collagen, so wrinkles, sunspots, and most importantly, that wavelength, UVA, is associated with melanoma. The other wavelength is UVB. So B, think of it burning. So burning rays, and that's the wavelength that's primarily responsible for sunburn. So those are the important things to know about that. That UVB wavelength does not penetrate as deep, so it's affecting more of the top layer of the skin. So again, sunburn, and it's associated with more non-melanoma skin cancers, such as precancers, basal cell, and squamous cell.
Doctors for decades have recommended using sunscreen and sunblock, but what are some of the mistakes that you see people make that could really be exposing them to harmful UV rays?
There's a lot of misconceptions out there. So one of the biggest mistakes is people think that applying your sunscreen in the morning is going to protect you all day. So if you're outdoors doing sports, activities, sweating, swimming, you need to reapply every 2 to 3 hours. The other big thing is most people do not apply enough. So we like to give the analogy of you need about a shot glass full of sunscreen to cover the body. Another common myth is that you don't need sunscreen on a cloudy day. So you still get sun, even on a cloudy day. In the winter, on a cloudy day, you get about 80% of UV exposure. Same thing in the winter with reflection from the snow, you get about 80% of UV exposure. So you also get sun through the window. So this morning sun beating down on me, the longer wavelength UVA penetrates windows, car windows. If you're sitting inside working in an office, that's a reason why you want to put your sunscreen on every day.
And Dr. Hurley, one more misconception I do want to ask you about because I think it's really important. I think, you know, there's often been this idea that for our more melanated communities, if you have darker skin tones, that you may not be as affected because perhaps you don't show sunburn, and that is not true.
Correct. That is not true. No skin type is immune. Everybody can get sun damage.
Now, what type of skin protection should people be using, and how does someone know what the right sunscreen or sunblock is for them specifically?
So I tell my patients, I like whatever sunscreen you're going to wear. So there are all kinds of different types and flavors, so to speak, good for dry skin, oily skin, acne-prone skin. So we just want to find one that's good for your skin type. A board-certified dermatologist can help you with this. So what you want to look for is broad spectrum, so that protects against UVA and UVB. And also don't forget the other areas. So a broad brim hat. You want to protect your eyes, sunglasses. You want to protect your lips with lip balm. Your face, obviously, for daily face. Hopefully neck, tops of the ears, backs of the hands. And then, of course, if you're going to be out all day, a full body. And sun protective clothing.
There you go. And I love your glasses. I love that's awesome. At what point should someone see a doctor for these issues?
So we do recommend everybody needs a full body skin exam annually. So it's a head to toe, check your scalp all the way down to your toes. And so everybody should be seeing a board certified dermatologist to get that. In addition, I like to recommend self-skin exams at home. So you want to watch your spots, get to know your moles. You want to look for anything that's new. So any new spots, anything that's changing in any way, size, shape, or color, anything that's not healing, bleeding spontaneously, basically anything that looks funny. Oftentimes we call it the ugly duckling sign. So if there's a mole or a spot that looks different than your other ones, that's something you should go in for.
With the sun, specifically the sun we have in Texas, this information is so helpful. Dr. Hurley with Texas Health Dallas, thank you for joining us this morning with such important information.
My pleasure. Thank you.